Make some retrofits from some Jeep headlights. These are my stockies. So my idea was to cut them right at this edge here, and then slowly maybe work my way down to this line, carefully if I needed to, but right at the edge so I can keep checking fitment before I glue them in. So I was just gonna use the edge of this original housing, and then the Jeep ones basically glue them onto here right at the edge. But once I test fit them, of course, you know, I will glue them. But this is the first part to this video that I'm trying out, so we'll see how it goes. But my prediction is this can look badass. This is a nice little handy so we're gonna use here. Just go all the way around and so I think we'll start with that. But I have a feeling we want to use this inner piece so we can still have some adjustment, you know. But we'll start it like that. So these are the OEM housings. Trimmed them back, cleaned them up a bit. Still have to modify them, of course. This is what I'm gonna be putting on. These are RGB Sun Pi. Yeah. Basically, I cleaned it all up, all that edge. Between that, a little sander. Still got to clean up the other one, and then I'll start to see where I need to sit the other part here and glue it here. Which this I'm gonna have to trim back, I'm sure, but don't want to do it just yet until I have this on the truck, so I can check how much I have to cut off, so I can get the new light to line up with the grill. I'm gonna be taking the reflector piece off. I'm doing a walkthrough in case somebody else wants to attempt it too. I mean, this is my first time doing this, obviously, but I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of how things work, you know, when it comes to taking things apart and whatnot. You want to take that out. We'll do that on this one too. I'm most likely gonna have to trim a little bit off the back here, because these, I'm gonna have to pull them out so you guys can see them, but that's the back right there. I have a feeling that's, we'll see, maybe not. Alright. Idea is to drop it in there, but I'd have to build this up with adhesive or like automotive panel bond or seam seal, so that this actually sits flat, like a little higher, so that way there's, by the time you put the grill, there's not going to be a gap. So with panel bonding, I'm going to build up this ridge here, because it needs to be a little thicker for these to sit so they don't fall through, because I want them to be almost at this height of this edge. Yep. Alright guys, so I built the edge with panel bond. It's not the prettiest, but I'll be able to sand it and smooth it out and whatnot, you know. Main reason why I did that is because these lights have a ridge over here, so I want to prevent them falling inside that reflector part, because I need them to be close to the edge. That's where it starts to curve, and that way I can still play around with them. But once I get them where I want them, then I'm gonna go ahead and glue them in, and I'll still be able to use the adjustment to adjust them like factory from the back. So that's my idea. I want to be able to aim them correctly, but yep, I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty dope though. So I pretty much sanded it flat, that seam seal. Well, not seam seal, sorry. Panel bond. So I can put this on there so they don't slip through. But I'm gonna have to put a little more on this one. Might as well do it on this one too, just to even it out. Build it up a little more so that when it's hard the next day, I can use a block or a little sander and sand it flat. So that way it's nice and flat with this edge here and not all wavy. Because I did notice that one of these on the passenger one, it sits really nice, it doesn't wiggle around. But on this one, it teeter-totters, which is telling me that this is uneven. And I should make it even, otherwise I'm going to struggle when I'm going to be aiming the lights, you know. So there's that, and I will probably continue on this tomorrow, but I'll piece all this videos together. So I added a little more panel bond, and then I'm gonna let that dry, come back to it, and then sand it flat so that way it's nice and even. And then I'll mount these up and then figure out where my orientation on these on the truck, aim them, and then glue them in place. Alright guys, so here's an update. It's been a few days just because I haven't had a lot of time. Been having some house projects too, but this is on my spare time after work, you know, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there kind of thing. But anyways, I'm going to sand this flat now and then clean them up, and then this weekend I'm going to do an update probably on this video again, where I'm going to be placing them, mounting these back on the truck, and then test fitting the new ones in here, and then make sure I aim them correctly, because they have the projector line, you know, the cutoff for low and high, and I want to make sure it's nice and straight, you know. But yeah, this is where we're at. I'm gonna take another little video after I sand these probably, or a picture, and then I'll add it in the video. Alright, so I sanded them flat. They're pretty much ready to go as far as test fitting. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, so I bolted back up the stock housings. It's got that edge that I built with panel bond. And then we're gonna glue on top basically, or set the Jeep custom lights, and then we're gonna aim them before I decide to finish gluing them on. All right, so I got the Jeep light in place, just mocked up with some of the rubbery stuff you put inside the door panels, just to kind of see where it's gonna fit. Get the line going, aimed, and then if it all fits good, then I'm gonna finish it off with some seam seal or panel bond over it from the edge of the light to the housing. And it's still, by doing it this way, I'm able to adjust and rotate the light however I want with the factory adjustments through there and through back here. Alright, so I got them wired in. These are RGB, of course, with the remote. And of course, in a day or two, I'm gonna lock them in place and super glue them in basically with panel bond or seam seal. So this is what it looks like, final product. There's a bunch of different modes. But yeah, hope you liked the video, and maybe this inspired you to try it as well too. I hope this video was fun. I hope that it helps you out if you're trying to install aftermarket headlights on your FJ Cruiser as well, like I did. there wasn't a lot of options, so I had to make my own. But hey, we made it work, got through it. There were some challenges, of course, but that didn't stop me. So I would say, as far as the wiring, which I didn't mention much about in the video, you just connect your flashers, find your signal for your flashers, connect it to the headlights if the headlights have flashers, ground pretty much anywhere, right, of course, and that's it. As far as gluing them, panel bonding after you set them how you want them, right, and that's it. And yeah, follow for more videos. Catch you soon.